Hi boys and girls, sorry. So today you will be joining me in baking some cookies, well some butter biscuits, and if the boys and girls remember we did this in nursery. So I'm going to go over it again and some of you might remember the steps and you can show your mummies and daddies and whoever you're with how to bake these butter biscuits. So they're really simple. There's only 3 ingredients. You need 100 grams of butter, make sure it's nice and soft. We need 50 grams of caster sugar and we need 150 grams of self-raising flour. So that's all we need to make these biscuits, so it's super simple. So first of all, we're going to preheat the oven. So if you've got your grown up there, that's a really good time for them to help you. And we're going to preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius, okay? So I'll heat my oven up. And that's my oven on. So we're also, with the ingredients, we are going to need a big mixing bowl. And I have a mixing spatula, but you can use a big spoon, that's okay. We need a baking tray. And I've also got some little bowls so I can measure my ingredients in with my scales. Okay, so first we're going to need the butter, because the butter goes in first and then we add the caster sugar and you mix it up till it's super soft and light, and then we add the flour bit by bit to make a dough. So we need 50 grams of caster sugar, ooh, a bit much. So I've put in too much, so I'm going to take a little bit out and put it like. So if you want to make these, as in you want to make lots and lots of these biscuits, it's really simple. All you need to do is just double the ingredients, and you can ask your adults to help you with that, and you just add in the same amount just twice, and then you can make even more biscuits. So I'll put that away. So that's my sugar in a bowl. And then we'll add our butter. So we need 100 grams of butter, and a bit more. So make sure your hands are nice and washed. I already did mine before I turned the video on. So you wash your hands before, keep them nice and clean. And then if you touch something, like I'm touching the butter with my finger, so I have to wash my hands straight after I do that as well. $94, 6 more grams. Oh, maybe not, 98. Yeah, 100. Okay. So I'll put my spoon away, butter back in the fridge, and wash my hands. Okay. So it's good to have all your ingredients measured out first, but obviously I've just done it as we go, to show you what we're doing. So it's nice to be prepared. And I'll measure out the flour just so we've got it ready. So 150 of self-raising flour. So, in fact, it says you can use some butter to butter your baking tray to make sure that's ready before it goes in the oven for your biscuits. But me and the boys and girls, when we did it in nursery, we just used a little bit of extra flour. So It's just a tiny bit you need, and you just sprinkle it over your baking tray, and this stops your biscuits sticking to your baking tray. We had lots of fun doing this. We had flour everywhere, but I had lots of special helpers as well. They helped me clean it all back up, so that was good. Okay, so my baking tray is ready, so I'm going to put that to the side. My scales back away. And we're going to mix our butter and our sugar until it's a really soft, light mixture. So my butter just came out of the fridge, so it's a wee bit hard still, but if you want to make it soft, you just take it out of the fridge a wee bit sooner before you do it, and you'll be good to go. So I hope all you boys and girls are having so much fun at home and enjoying this lovely weather. I know we can't go far, but it's good to see the sun. Okay. So, because it's such a small mixture, I don't really like using a hand mixer, so it's much easier just to use a wooden spoon or a spatula. And the boys and girls are super good at mixing. They get lots of practice in, so they should be experts by now. I'll show you adults how it's done. Okay. And it's nearly ready. And I'll give you a wee show. So that's it. It should be nice and soft and fluffy, and all the butter and sugar should be mixed well together. Okay, so when we're doing the flour, you just add a little bit in at a time, and it should get thicker and thicker, and it should get harder and harder to mix. So when it gets a little bit too hard, you can ask your adult ask your adult to help you with that, okay? So I usually just shake in a little bit at a time. So if you put it all in at once and you give it a big mix, it's just going to go poof, and a massive cloud of flour will just hit you in the face. So we don't want that. Don't want you to get too messy. Okay. So it's just gradual, bit by bit, and then you should be left with a kind of buttery dough at the end. And then the boys and girls used to help me in the next part. They know what to do. They should remember, I hope. This is just a wee reminder. So give it a good mix. Oh! See, that's Mandy making a mess in my kitchen. Okay. And these biscuits don't take long as well. Once you've made the dough and you end up putting it in the oven, they only take about 15 minutes, but it's good to check anyway, just at maybe 10-minute mark. See if they're nice and brown at the top, and if they are, then that's good to go. Mandy's got hair casting everywhere. So I really miss baking and cooking with the boys and girls at Snack, because when I make all my baking and food and lovely soup and cakes and stuff at home, I have to eat it all myself. And I think Mandy will be the size of a house by the next time you see her, with all the stuff that we're all making at home. But these are good for a little treat. So look, we're getting thicker and thicker now. So I'll add another bit, and then we'll get one more after that, I think, and we should be done with the mixing. Oh, and I really forgot what the last bit. We need a fork as well. So that, sometimes they're called butter biscuits, sometimes they're called fork biscuits, because you need a fork to make the wee lines at the top to flatten them out at the end. But I'll show you that in a minute. So look, it should look like it's getting a wee bit crumbly. But if you keep mixing it even harder, it should stick together to form a dough. Okay, last bit. And if it gets too hard, you can get in there with your hands, as long as they're clean. And you can mush it all together still. Oh. Okay. So when it all sticks together, all sticks together, you kind of scrunch it up until it's like a big ball of dough, and then we use our fingers to pinch off a little bit at a time and make small little round balls to put onto our baking tray. And then once we do that, we use our fork to press them down to make them a little bit flatter, and that helps with our biscuit shape. So I've kneaded it a wee bit, so it's more like a ball of dough now. Okay, so that should be us ready. So you bring back your baking tray, and depending on the size of the ball you make, depends on how many cookies you'll get, how many biscuits you'll get. So if you make it a bigger size, and you give it a wee roll, just like that, and you place it on your baking tray. Make sure there's a little bit of space between your little balls, so when you flatten it, your cookies don't touch each other, because then it will just bake into one giant cookie in the oven. So it needs a little bit of space between. So usually you could probably get about 12 out of these, but as I say, depending on how big you make them, you can get more if they're smaller, or you can make less if you choose to go bigger. It's completely up to you. So I'll make these and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've made my cookie balls, and we're going to use a fork. They're all evenly placed, so I've put a little bit of flour in a bowl, so we're going to use the fork and just dip the back of the fork into the flour, and then use the fork to press down on the top of our cookies, but not too hard, because if you press too hard you're going to split the cookie right in half, and then we're going to have loads of half the cookies. So I'll show you that one. So it's not all the way flat, but it's flatter than it was, and we just keep doing that with all of the dough balls to make our cookies. Okay, so this is what they look like now. So the next part is we're going to have to put them in the oven, so this is where your adult should come in and help you put these in the oven, so remember to wear your oven gloves. And I'll get mine. So put them in the oven, and as I said, for about 15 minutes, but check at the 10-minute mark to see how they're doing, and I will show you soon. Okay, so mine are at the oven, and I've accidentally squished one with some oven glove, clearly, but here they are. So they're nice and golden brown, but they're really, really hot just now. So if you've got a baking tray, you can use a knife, not a baking tray, sorry, a kind of wire rack. You can use a knife to, I'll change the camera over if I can. No, I can't. So you can use this just to lift it slightly off, put it onto a cooler surface so your biscuits cool down a wee bit more, but I don't have one, so I'm just going to slightly move them so I know they're all ready to lift off. And once they're nice and cool, I'm going to put them on just a nice wee plate, and that's you. You've got your butter biscuits all ready. So I hope you've enjoyed my little baking video. And I hope the boys and girls remember all these steps that we did in nursery, because they have had practice, I promise you. So thank you for joining me. See you next week, guys. Bye.